Where are you placing yourself? How are you pricing yourself? And how are you promoting yourself? It's all a function of how you see yourself and how do you want to be seen. That is a question every woman must ask herself. She owes it to the broken little girl inside of her and to the ancestors that paved the way. It's a question you gotta ask and you gotta answer. He asked me, go ahead, say.
Who are you?
I am Iyanla, great mother. I am a servant of God. I am a teacher of the people. I am a cultural custodian. Just to be in my presence is gonna make you wanna do better. I made that up. But it's good.
I'll buy it.
That's all I'm talking about. You want some of this product, don't you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you're not that excited about you, why would anybody else be that excited about you?
Right.
And I don't have to go around telling everybody, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm marvelous. All I have to do is show up. You see, because I know that my presence is enough.
Well, you know, everybody prays different. Everybody prays different.
I prayed many times. You know, I may not say everything that I prayed, but I can tell you I was very specific at this point in my life. And first thing first is when I started to like get myself centered, I started to understand the power of loving myself firstly. And I had to like, you know, commit to that idea. Let me love myself. Let me get myself in the right place, you know, so that, you know, I can, one, love myself. If I love myself right, then I believe I can get the love that I deserve. I'll have the love. I'll be loved the way that I deserve. And then I can also be clear enough to love the way I'm supposed to love as well.
The clearer you get in here, the more you will attract people that will support you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. That's your work. I can't do that for you. That's your work. Every path has led to this moment. Every breath, every mistake has brought you to this right now moment so that you can make another choice. Don't diminish that. You are going to be held accountable for the good that's been sown into your spirit. Don't let me see you out there acting like a fool.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you find time to get married?
You know, it's difficult because I had to really learn how to have boundaries and how to have balance. I'm sorry.
That's both. You need both.
I need boundaries and balance. And it was great because it's something that I never have really talked about. And I still feel like it was difficult because and it still is because I'm so excited about it. Mm-hmm. But it's important that I keep things that are pure and real in perspective, and I keep it separate from my performance life.
But do you like being a wife? Do you like being a wife as opposed to a girlfriend?
I like definitely.
Like, and I'm just asking you this because, you know, I never married. I chose not to marry. But I always love it sometimes when guys will say, you know, that's my wife, or my wife called, or I got to get this for my wife. You know, just when you hear the word wife and you know that he's talking about you, do you like that? Do you go, mm-hmm. Yeah.
It feels great, but I can say to make sure you have your own life before you're someone else's wife.
You know, as far as praying, I did have many times where I prayed. You know, when you're in that space with just you and your baby, my baby boy, my little juicy man, and it's just me and him, you know, I'm very specific because it's not only about me, but it's also about him now. So I can't play around. There's no more experimenting. Like, I thought I was gonna be single for like 4 years. I had that in my mind. I was like, and I don't know why that number was 4 years, but I was like, I was really ready to like take my time and be patient and let love really fall in place the right way because I desire something new. You know, I desire something different. I desire to be loved to the highest capacity. You know, and to be loved the way that I felt I deserved. So when I prayed, I'll tell you a few things that I did pray. You know, I prayed for a God-fearing man. I prayed.
Oh, God.
I prayed for discernment. I prayed for wisdom, to really learn from the wisdom that I'm gaining through the experience that I'm going through. I prayed for a man that loved kids. because obviously me having my son, that was, if you're gonna love me, you gotta love him. You know, I prayed for a man that was worldly as well, because I love to explore. So someone that's gonna edify my world is important to me. I was ready to level up. You know, but I can go on and on. I prayed many different things.
Wow, but you got all the things you were praying on.
God is
amazing?
good. You know, God is good, but I look
God
at
is
life.
good, but sometimes you pray for something and God be like, that's not really what you need. I'm gonna give you what you really need.
But you know what? I did pray for what I needed to.
Oh, that's good.
That's important, right?
Yeah.
Like, we can want love, but what does that mean? I think we have to be really specific about what we're attracting to our lives, because love can look different in different scenarios.
Yeah.
I do think we have a choice in what our lives are going to be like. You see?
We don't have a chance about what's going to hit us when we don't
Okay,
know.
let me tell you this. My impression, I have a certain, I guess, positiveness about my life, but I realize that every time I create a positive thought in my mind, also I create a negative thought. It's just like, I'm going to be very successful. My mind said, oh, no, you're not, you know? Okay? So since I create positive and negative, it's which one I give the most attention that is powerful. When I think positive constantly, it's very powerful and it controls me. If I think negative all the time, it's going to control me too. So right now, my positive thought is there is going to be no disaster to destroy what I have planned for me and my family. And if there is, that's life.
We gotta be really, that's why I think you have to be in
Sometimes
gotta
you
be
need
specific.
time by yourself to
you
get
do.
there. Yeah.
And I had the best time at that moment, just rolling with my son. I was like, let's go. Like, I gained 60 pounds.
60?
I was like, yeah. What? I was like, yes. And I said I was, by the way, I said I was never gonna, oh, it was all everywhere. I did like the hips that came with that.
What were you eating?
Everything. You know, at first I was like, I'm on like, you know, do good. Then all of a sudden, like 5-month mark, I was like, let's just get it. Oreos, what's up? Cheeseburger, let's go. French fries. Like, I'm pregnant, so it's cool. It's all good. And then I was like, I'm not gonna do that again, ever, 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 you know, when I have my next child. And then with Ciara, I gained 65 pounds. You know, but I guess my point is that when I was on that, where's I about to go with that? When I gained my, 60 pounds and it was just me and little, Juicy Man, I was like, Mama got to do what Mama got to do. I was like, I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna work. Part of loving myself was me also working out and taking care of myself. So I revved up my training plan, like aggressively, met with my nutritionist. I just focused on me so heavy. I focused on like really figuring out how I wanted to get better. I had so much fun with Future. He would sleep, he was like my teddy bear. So he slept with me way longer than they would suggest any parent to sleep with their baby. My friends, have lifted me up at some of the most crucial times. They've also celebrated with me at some of the most beautiful times. But I will say there is no better, feeling and sense of comfort when you have your friends by your side. Like, Girl Gang is real, right? That's the song, Girl Gang. That is real. We need a place to go to, because I really think that when we're going through tough times, if we don't have a place if we don't have outlets, we will explode. Like when I was like looking forward, and there's a moment of reflection when you look in the mirror and you have to say, okay, what am I doing that's like, it's something I'm doing that's like consistent, and I need to switch that.
Did you figure out what that was?
Oh, I definitely figured out what it was.
Is it share-worthy or not yet?
Yeah, not even. We can talk about it another time.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like doing the same thing over and over is insanity, right? The same thing is, the crazy, the bad stuff over and over. It's just, he said the cycle. If you keep running into a roadblock or like the wall, at some point in time, you got to go like, okay, something has got to be a little different here. Like, I've got to do something different. Like, you know what I mean? That's just real.
Everybody's
right?
been there, by the way.
And especially when you want to grow,
Yeah.
right? You got to be real with yourself. Like, I was really real with myself, but I think it's also because I was ready to be in a certain place.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're not ready for where we're supposed to be. We're not ready for where we're about to go. Yeah. I was so ready. Like, I remember one time praying, because on the song I Love Myself, the opening lines. But I just remember feeling it over my body, like to the point to where it's right now when I'm talking to you, it's like, it's coming through me. Like, it was like almost having goosebumps. Like, I just knew, like, I could taste literally on my, like, it's the power of manifestation. Like, you can taste where you're about to go. You can taste what you want. You can taste what you need. You can taste what you deserve. Like, and you don't like the taste of what's not right. Like, you can feel it through your body. So for me, I was committed. Like, it was like, no more of the same habits, or no more of this feeling again. Like, it is not fun. What? It's not fun doing all that. Like,
that's not a good time.
That's not healthy. And you know what? The biggest thing I will say for me is I am afraid of wasting my life. I am afraid of wasting my life. That's like, even in the label scenario, like, I just felt if I don't start moving forward, these great records that I have, they'll never see the light of day. And I work too hard, you know, to create this stuff, you know, for life. I work too hard. I'm not trying to keep running in circles. Life is so precious. And it's like, I want to maximize life. And I want someone that wants to maximize life with me. Like, that's what I was feeling. It's like you just want it. You can feel it through your body.
Can I ask you one question then? So when you have all this and you know it's coming, you know what you want, you do this work, and then like the curtain opens and Russell's standing there. Like, do you know right away, or does it take time?
Oh, no. You know right away. You know right away. It was a calm feeling all over my body. And I also remember looking at him, and I thought he was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And I couldn't sometimes hear half what he was saying because I thought he was so beautiful. It was like, whew, going over my head. Focus, you know. But when you know, we say that. And we also talk about being equally yoked. It's just light, you know. When it's right, it's light, it's easy, even in the toughest times. And I'm learning this, like,
I was going to say,
because
it doesn't, just because it's right doesn't mean it's always easy.
Oh,
right?
yeah, no. We definitely have moments where we be like, he thinks blue, I think red, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just real, right?
Yeah.
But when you're on the same page, you share the same vision, you have the same goals, the same passions, and communication.
Yeah.
Communication is huge. Like, if we can't communicate, we can't get anywhere. And we're really big on that. And even like the things that we just may not want to communicate about, we do it.
Yeah.
And we figure it out. And it's just easier. It's just easy.
Because you're like morally grounded in the same type of way.
We have the same.
But are you willing to compromise within a relationship?
To compromise? What is compromising? Compromising for what? Compromising for what reason? To compromise? For what? To compromise. What is compromise?
If a man came into your life, wouldn't you want to compromise?
Stupid. A man comes into my life and I have to compromise? You must think about that one again. A man comes into my life and you have to compromise for what? For what? For what? A relationship is a relationship that has to be earned, not to compromise for. And I love relationships. I think they're fantastic. They're wonderful. I think they're great. I think there's nothing in the world more beautiful than falling in love. But falling in love for the right reason, falling in love for the right purpose, falling in love. Falling in love. When you fall in love, what is there to compromise about?
We have the same understandings pretty much of mostly everything. So then you also don't feel like you're like compromising yourself either. Like, you don't feel like you don't fit in certain situations because you're like on the same page. Like, it's just, and no one's making you feel like uncomfortable either because you're on the same page.
Everybody's going to say those prayers.
Love liberates. It doesn't just hold. That's ego. Love liberates.